Follow me as I break down 10 classic jungle tricks from the 90s you can still use today. The next trick I learned from the 90s is extreme EQing, especially on breaks and amens. I learned this from Paradox's track Curse or Coincidence, where he boosts key frequencies extremely to make the snare sound resonant. And then he has either a distortion or a saturation effect after it to make it sound nice and warm. So here's that amen break. And then we're going to boost a key frequency here. The trick is you're going to have to dial the frequency until you hear this squeaky resonant sound. Sometimes one is not enough. You may have to employ a second one at the very same frequency. You hear how this snare here almost pops. Without it, that snare is popping because we're boosting that resonant frequency. And then I added saturator after, and this rounds it out. Almost makes the snare sound musical. Notice that specific snare is more resonant. So again, you got to use the right snare in the amen break. Also finding the right frequency. Say if we didn't have the right frequency, that wouldn't be right. It wouldn't get you the same sound, but it might give you something pleasurable still. Like that 719 sounds really good too. So why don't we boost them both there? And that sounds very nice. So you gotta dial and find really cool frequencies. Don't forget, there's also the option of using a notch EQ, which does the opposite. It removes key frequencies. Now putting it all together, let's see how it sounds. It might be extreme, but let's see. This effect is especially useful when chopping up breaks. So I have two layers of the amen break, one without the EQ and one with the EQ. And for one, I'm doing a filter slide at the end of the sequence, so that adds a nice movement at the end as well. But however, here, notice I'm chopping between the amen. I'm simply taking the pattern and just moving it down to the EQ'd amen. And by doing that, you can get a cool call and response. So let's check it out. Right? So really cool.